you punya kamera. So dia nak rakamkan. Sekejap je. Sekejap je dia nak rakamkan. Dia nak screenshot untuk rekod lah. Jadi dibenarkan pada waktu ni, dibenarkanlah buka you punya video, tunjuk background, lead sini stiker, warna tengok dengan laut, atas sampan ke warna ke apa ke. Dibenarkanlah tuan-tuan untuk menunjukkan gambar masing-masing seketika untuk diambil gambarnya. Okey, pengumuman lagi sekali. Sebelum kita bermula, boleh tak kita onkan kamera untuk melihat wajah tuan-tuan untuk kita rakamkan rekod. Thank you very much. Saya pun tak tahu macam nak tengok semua ni sebab saya tahu
kita buat empat siri So semua orang buka. Saya nak ambil gambar. Saya akan kira dalam 4 kali
Okey, dah berapa yang buka gambar ni Mawar ni? Cerita sikit. Saya tak nampak. Tak pandai, nanti saya ketuk-ketuk lebih kurang kan nanti saya sendiri tak boleh bercakap. Okey. Mawar ni dah belum?
Belum, kejap.
Okey. Apa khabar Senai Airport? Kawan-kawan saya di Senai Airport. Nampak meriah sana.
Okey, 1, 2, 3. Senyum.
Dah belum?
Belum. Kejap.
Sorry, cameraman ada problem sikit. Hafiz, apa khabar Hafiz? Tentera Banggat. Jangan lupa training ada kat sana, jenguk kan? Okey, Mawar ni dah belum?
Sekejap.
Lama sangat ni.
Sebab ada.
Tak apalah, mana ada je. Okey. Dah?
Okey
dah?
Okey dah. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Penat senyum lama sangat. Okey, boleh switch off your video. Thank you very much semua. So, alhamdulillah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, allow me to start again and I will switch off my video because I want to share.
Waalaikumsalam.
Okay, selepas ni it's very fun. Tadi saya tengok macam-macam dekat kita punya join board. Memang saya boleh faham. Don't worry. After this, allow me to buat tutorial sikit lah join board ni. Sekejap saya cuba masuk join board sekejap. Puan Yana, tolong share Jamboard link untuk CAAM ke WhatsApp saya, Yana.
Ya,
Untuk kita group. So, okey, sebelum kita mula balik untuk Jamboard ni, saya nak buat announcement lagi bagi yang belum dengar tadi. So, ada participant yang register tidak dapat masuk lah sebab penuh 100, walaupun kita kira around 90 je, tapi mungkin ada yang tu, tak apa. So untuk tujuan tu, I repeat the announcement just now. Please dalam chat room tu ada link to Google Form. Kalau boleh during next break, maybe you can update your identity lah, so that we want to clean up the list to give opportunity for those yang tak dapat register masuk tu walaupun initially dia register. Okay. So kalau you ada 3 account, you just beritahu 3 account ni apa dia punya Zoom punya account tu lah, so that kita nak make sure you punya tu kita akan accept, especially for tomorrow tomorrow session lagi senang lah kalau kita dah ada list tu. Sebab for example kita ada nama Ahmad bin Abdullah, so kita nak compare Ahmad bin Abdullah ni dia pakai Zoom account mana, so kita make sure lah register dia masuk, so that we want to give opportunity pada people who register yang tak dapat masuk sebab dah penuh. So unfortunately our current Zoom account ni cuma allow 100 maximum. Itulah, tak dapat buat apa-apa. Okay, so I will try to share before we start our normal session, kita punya Jamboard saya akan share. Zarif, kalau tak nampak nanti beritahu saya. Saya cuba share sekarang Jamboard. Mana satu ni? Ni kot. Betul ke ni? Zarif, what do you see? Oh, this whiteboard, not this one. Sorry. Okay, hold on Share. Sekejap, share screen. Mana Jamboard? Okay, this one. Okay, Zarif dah nampak belum Jamboard ni?
Nampak Haji.
Dah nampak?
Nampak.
Okay. Okay, saya nak share group CAAM punya. Kita buat 1 minit tutorial untuk semua bermanfaat. Tapi saya punya pun dah hanging dah sekarang ni. Masa hanging? Okay. Yana, first page kita hilang Group 10 ni. Bukan you all punya je. Kita
Masih
punya
ada
pun.
Haji, masih ada.
Asal saya tak nampak? Second page saya nampak, first page saya hilang. Okay, tak apa.
First page dah hilang.
Okay. See, the proof even our staff kat CAAM pun terhilang first page, lagi real kan?
Betul je, benda baru memang macam tu.
Sebab dia senang je. Bila you tekan clear frame ni,
dia clear semua.
Dia clear semua. Jadi kita faham. Tapi saya dah minta staff saya, mungkin dalam masa kita concentrate training nanti, you all akan buat balik lah.
Okay.
So yang paling susah nak buat balik ialah ni lah, first page ni. CM punya. Okay, tak apa. So second page, most staff, second page, most group kita letak this guideline this guideline. So guideline ni senang je. Kalau nampak tak belah kiri ni, yang perlu tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, what you need to enter is just 3 of this one lah. Eraser, sticky notes, text box, this one So I don't recommend you to do the rest lah. And then please do not enter this clear frame, or else your friend already entered 5 measures, suddenly you clear frame je, hilang terus measure dia. So this one is the button that need to be avoided. Okay. So you must enter only these 3 eraser, this sticky notes, and also text box. Itu pun we don't advise for you to use sticky notes, because sticky note ni dia boleh square macam ni je. So we advise you to do this text box. Okay. So this is the guideline. 3 things that you need to do: eraser, sticky notes dengan text box. The rest I don't advise you to touch lah. Okay. When you go, okay. This one is example kita punya assignment. We CAAM is being assigned to list of defense to reduce the bird strike incident at your airport. So what you must do, don't do anything else. You just put, I advise you to put text box here. Okay. You click on this text box. So you buat satu kotak here. And then inside that kotak, you can move the kotak up and down. So you put it here. So you just make it long here. So you enter here, double click. Okay. To ensure the pond is covered, for example. Okay, covered. Okay, so you just do like that. Okay, but if any of the group enter back here and then tekan delete ke, itu yang terus hilang. Okay, so hilang you have to write again. Please make sure lah. So that's the tutorial lah. I think very easy. Kalau you nak delete anybody, you can go here, you can just delete. Tekan delete tu. Again, I repeat. Go text box. Do the text box here. Okay, you can move the text box up and down, and then you can pull it to become long. And then you double click to liaise with wildlife department, for example. Okay, understand So any question, please ask in the group, our chat group. Kita boleh cuba answer. Tapi I think it's quite easy. As long as you don't push the clear frame lah, you don't conteng this one memang suka conteng. Ini memang paling best sekali lah. Paling banyak kita jumpa this one. But it's okay. Kalau ada somebody yang rajin, please call eraser, take eraser and then you erase back lah apa yang kawan-kawan conteng tu. Macam itulah. So itu cara dia. Okay, so macam itu So I repeat again, you must do only 3 buttons, eraser, sticky notes dengan text. Okay, itu je. So I think I stop sharing now. So I hope understand tapi kita akan touch up balik all your groups. But there's one group actually, 1 or 2 group already completed. Congratulations. I think if we have got time nanti, we will share lah, we will present or maybe kita boleh share sekarang lah I think. Boleh Yana?
Boleh Haji. Haji nak share Aspa ke?
Okay, saya share Aspa. Tak apa, I'll do myself.
Okay, alright.
Okay. Okay, I will share one group yang already completed. Maybe other group dah ada, tapi let me share this one group maybe last night dia dah buat homework, jadi dia pun familiar lah. And then dia pun tak ramai, satu meeting room aja, jadi senang sikit. So I share screen, share room. Okay. So this one semua nampak Yana nampak
Nampak Haji, nampak.
Okay, this one from group 9, which is Aspa. Aspa is a Helideck Training Center company. So kita muka surat depan dia masih intact, tak macam CAAM punya dah hilang. Okay. Okay, second kita punya guideline, ada somebody hilang guideline, tak apa, kita akan paste balik guideline. Dan third group dia ada assignment. So the question is, please list down 5 safety measures which will act as a layer of defenses to prevent helicopter accident incident at your helideck. So the first one, ensure helideck crew are competent, correct. Ensure communication equipment are serviceable. Ensure helideck surface satisfactory. Helideck friction test pass. Weather equipment are calibrated. So very correct answer. So congratulations to Aspa lah. So tak apa, kita tak ada deadline untuk the rest of the group. You can use during lunch break ke, next break ke, it's okay. Tapi kita akan present mana yang kita nampak dah siap lah. Okay. Thank you very much. I think allow me to continue with my next presentation, which is related to definition. So my staff, please alert me kalau dah ada atau belum nampak. Okay, I hope everybody dah nampak. Syarif, dah ada
Ji, dah nampak Ji.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, like normal training that I have conducted, I always provided one slide related to definition. In IQ, definition is very important because through definition we know the scope, the thing that we need to cover, etc. So that's why I pull down certain definitions from IQ documentation so that we can share what are the definition. Okay, the first definition I want to share is related to accident. It's very important for us to know the difference between accident and incident. Sometimes when we fill MOR, mandatory occurrence report form pun, there's a category incident or accident. So we need to know the difference between accident and incident. So in Annex 13, IQ Annex 13, it is mentioned what are the definition. Like I said before, if we know the definition, we know the scope. So that after this, I hope everybody can differentiate between any occurrence that happened at your airport. You know, oh, this is accident, this is incident. Okay, what is the basis of you decide that? Is based on the definition IQ given. Okay, let us go through a definition of accident. An occurrence associated with the operation of an aircraft, which in the case of a manned aircraft, maknanya dua-dua boleh, manned boleh, unmanned boleh. Tapi in case of manned aircraft, takes place between the time any person boards the aircraft, start dia orang masuk dalam aircraft tu, dia start tu, with the intention of flight until such time as all such person have disembarked. Maknanya dia punya duration time tu, the first orang masuk and then after the last person disembark. Tapi kalau kapal tu terbakar after last person disembark, so that one is not included in the definition of accident. Understand? Okay. Atau that kapal terbakar before the first person enter the aircraft, that's one tak termasuk dalam accident. Dia mesti syarat dia kalau for manned aircraft, the first time orang masuk and then the last time orang keluar. Or in the case of unmanned aircraft, maknanya kalau kapal terbang tu unmanned, takes place between the time the aircraft is ready to move with the purpose of flight until such time as it comes to rest. Maknanya intentionally when dia start to operate. Kalau ni unmanned lah. Kalau manned tadi, first enter, last exit kan. Tapi kalau for unmanned, first start intention to operation until such time it comes to rest at the end of the flight. And the primary propulsion system is shut down. In which, dia ada lagi. Itu dia punya basic punya definition. In which a person is fatally or seriously injured. Maknanya kalau dia seriously or fatally injured, meninggal ataupun serious injury as a result of being in the aircraft, direct contact, etc. direction to jet blast. Except when the injury is natural cause. Maknanya contohnya dia kena serangan penyakit jantung dan sebagainya, self-inflicted, yang tu bukan kira accident. Okay. So nampak tak? So based on yang ini dengan yang ni, you know that is actually accident. Okay. Yang B pula, the aircraft sustain damage or structural failure which adversely affect the structural strength would no longer require major repair except ada certain except. So kalau except tu kita cover, maknanya that is not an accident, that is just incident. Except for engine failure or damage when damage related to single engine, that kind of thing lah. Propeller, wing tips. So bila ada berlaku minor damage tu semua, dia tidak termasuk sebagai accident, it's just an incident. Okay, so you can go through all those wording here lah. Or C, if the aircraft is missing or incompletely accessible. So dalam case MH370 ni, even though we do not know whether there's a fatality or a serious injury, but IQ has included inside C ni, kalau aircraft is missing, incompletely accessible, is still categorized under accident. So now we understand. So we don't need to memorize lah, tak ada keluar soalan pun. But when we want to differentiate between accident and incident, this is the one that we have to go through. Dia kalau for manned aircraft, from the first entry until the last person to go out, and for unmanned aircraft, bila start dia operate until dia switch off everything. Dan syaratnya pula, dalam tu mesti ada fatally serious injured, or ada serious damage. Kalau yang small-small ni dia tak masuk dalam accident, dia akan jadi incident. Atau C, kalau dia missing or completely inaccessible. So that is the definition of accident. So after this, I hope everybody can have same understanding on what is the definition of accident. Okay.
Haji, yang ni untuk aircraft accident je lah.
Betul, aircraft accident.
Definition untuk aircraft accident.
Betul. Kereta kita sendiri define lah. Ikut JPJ ke apa. This one is for aircraft accident. Okay. Nampak tak? Ada tak perkataan aircraft? Tu ada perkataan aircraft. Whether it's manned or unmanned. So the rest of accident tu, I think is not covered in dalam IQ Annex 13 lah. Okay. So incident pula, an occurrence after we have explained so long about accident. So incident ni yang lain-lain lah. An occurrence other than an accident. Maknanya like I said before, after we have shortlist all those criteria for accident just now, if the criteria is not included in accident, so it means it is incident. An occurrence other than an accident associated with the operation of aircraft. Ini jawab soalan Zabi tadi lah. We only cover in the definition on the aircraft accident only, or aircraft incident, which affects or could affect the safety operation. So maybe ada setengah subjektif punya pendapat dan sebagainya, but as long as you refer to this both definition of accident and incident, I think you will get it correctly. Remember, you don't need to memorize it, but you need to know this is the definition. Please paste it anywhere on your office wall ke atau on your handphone ke. After this, kalau ada berlaku apa accident, refer to this for you to differentiate between which one is accident, which one is incident. Okay. Okay. This is a list of serious incident in Annex 13. So I don't intend to go one by one lah. So you go to Annex 13, there are example of serious incident. For example, collision not classified accident, control fight into CPT, CFT, aborted takeoff. These are example. You don't need to memorize. I won't go through detail, but you can refer in Annex 13. These are the list of serious incident. Incident pula ada dua, serious incident yang normal incident kan. So these are the definition of serious incident. Okay. So these are the example of serious incident. So other than serious incident ni adalah normal incident. Okay, let me go to the next definition, hazard. In SMS, we always talk about hazard many times. So we must know what is real definition of hazard. So hazard is actually a condition or an object. So like I said before, IQ always change definition. So during 2007, the first time I learned about hazard ni, dia ada tiga, COA, a condition, object or activity. But now IQ already reduce it to become two only, a condition or an object. So we take the latest definition by IQ lah. Why dia berubah-ubah? Itu kena tanya Pak Cik IQ lah. We just follow. Okay, so latest definition of hazard is a condition or an object with the potential to cause or contribute to an aircraft incident or accident. So this one you don't need to memorize, but kalau you memorize it's good. But as long as you know, when I say hazard, what is hazard? Okay, Haji, a condition or an object with the potential to cause or contribute to an aircraft incident or accident. So here, it is clearly mentioned, dia tak cover vehicle. So you can put hazard as a vehicle pun sama, but as long as dia boleh contribute to aircraft incident or accident, so under IQ, it is a hazard. Okay, that's what you mean. Okay, next, acceptable level of safety performance, LOSP. Dulu dia panggil LOS saja, but lately IQ rename it to become LOSP. So like I say, why they change it, we just follow je lah. So now we say LOSP. What is LOSP? The level of safety performance agreed by state authorities to be achieved. Maknanya if you say your airport is safe, so we as a state regulator, we say okay, confirm Kota Baru airport is very safe kan ZBD, but you must show me your LOSP lah, acceptable level of safety performance. So tomorrow, don't worry, I will explain more on LOSP. So LOSP is to show the airport is safe, okay, and must be agreed by us. So that's why during I audit, I want you to perform your LOSP. So sometimes you say accident, aircraft related accident 2 times a year, for example. I say, okay, we do not agree you put 2 times a year. Why don't you reduce to 1 time a year? Because I see in your record, there's not many accident kan. Why you should put 2? Some sort like that. So it means that LOSP must be agreed by state authority. It means that for airports is the aerodrome standard. For ATS is the ANS Inspectorate headed by Cik Rohaizat. Okay. So for flight ops, for our flight ops division for airlines, that kind of thing. But for aerodrome operator, your LOSP, your level must be agreed by us, CAAM aerodrome standard. So agreed by state authority to be achieved for the civil aviation system in the state as defined in its state safety program. Expect dalam state safety program kita orang SSP ni pun ada sebenarnya express in term of safety performance target and safety performance indicator. So the keyword of this LOSP is SPI, SPT. So after this, next day, insyaAllah, tomorrow I will explain what is SPT, what is SPI. I will give you example. So kalau berat, berat is measured by kilogram. If long is measured by meter. So LOSP is measured by SPI and SPT, safety performance target and safety performance indicator. Remember, kalau berat measured by kilogram, kalau panjang long is measured by meter, LOSP is measured by SPI and SPT. So that's the idea. After tomorrow, I will go through insyaAllah on SPI, SPT. Okay, accountable executive. Sometimes I just want to test lah. I like to test. Siapa accountable executive ni? Adalah somebody say, oh ni kita punya safety officer kot, executive kan. Tak apalah, biasalah. Tapi sebenarnya, who is accountable executive? A single identifiable person having responsibility for the effective and efficient performance of the service provider SMS. Senang cakap, number 1 people in your organisation. For example, for Malaysia Airport, your accountable executive is your managing director or CEO. I'm not sure which one is the latest, MD or CEO. Okay. For Senai Airport, is your CEO, for example. For Tanjung Manis, your number one people. For CAAM, is our CEO. But for CAAM regulator, is our KSU. So dia memang betul-betul the number one. But after this session, I will explain to you the detail on the criteria of accountable executive. But as long as you know, the word accountable mean he is accountable to whatever safety matters being operated at your organization. So that's why it must be people number one. So after this, if people ask you who is your company's accountable executive, don't put safety officer, safety manager. He is the number one in your company. Senai Airport, CEO. For Malaysia Airport, CEO or Managing Director. For CAAM, kalau yang service provider, kita punya CEO lah, Captain Vu. Tapi for regulator, the accountable executive is our KSU, that kind of thing. Okay, so dia mesti number one people. Okay, change management atau sometimes we use management of change. Don't worry, after this kita petang ni insyaAllah I will share about management of change. Very important. That's why this training, this time punya training, I purposely explain a little bit more on certain things which is very important. And sometimes during my audit too, I feel some weakness in terms of airport operator. So I will explain in further insyaAllah this afternoon evening. So what is change management? A formal process to manage changes. A formal process, bukan normal process. Dia mesti formal, bukan yang verbally ke apa. A formal process to manage changes within an organization. You have many changes in organization, but some of the changes related to safety. So you must have management or change management to ensure there's a formal process to manage changes. In a systematic manner, bukan kelang kabut manner. Okay, brief je lah, airport manager baru, kita brief je lah. Oh, and then kita tunjuk je lah kiri kanan. No. Dia mesti ada satu systematic manner. Okay. So that changes which may impact identified hazards and risk mitigation strategies are accounted for before. Bukan, airport manager sudah datang 10 bulan tapi belum buat MOC. Tak boleh lah. Sepatutnya before they start first day duty tu, kita kena buat management of change on him. For example, we have one new HOO, Head of Operation. Before they start tu, sepatutnya mungkin dalam 1 or 2 weeks tu, kita bagi dia MOC dulu. Before they start the duty. So very clear in this definition, maknanya before the implementation of such changes. For example, if you intend to introduce new SOP kan, after 2 months SOP introduced, no management change. No wonder sometimes I ask, do you have SOP and so? No Haji, padahal dah ada 2 bulan dah. Pasal apa? Pasal before the SOP is being implemented, kita tidak buat management of changes. So please make sure. That's why this evening, insyaAllah, please bear with me. I will explain on management of change. I hope everybody can focus during that presentation. Okay, defenses, specific mitigation actions, preventive controls or recovery measures put in place to prevent the realization of a hazard or its escalation into an undesirable consequences. So tadi yang kita present on ASPA punya tu is a part of defenses lah sebenarnya, to avoid from helicopter accident on a helideck. So that is defense. Error, macam tadi kata, is it really zero error, zero risk, etc.? No. People tends to make error. Okay. So what is the definition of error? An action or inaction by an operational person that leads to deviation from organizational or the operational person intention or expectation. So error ni memang ada satu chapter on error, tapi this time not enough time, so I won't talk detail on error. So error ni some sort like we cannot avoid error. Kita cuma boleh control the error. Okay. Safety data, the defined set of facts or set of safety values collected from various aviation related sources which used to maintain or improve safety. So we must in SMS have safety data, because after we have safety data, we collect it, we analyze it, and we use the result of the analysis to improve safety. For example, now during COVID-19, and all those data collected by CAAM tu kan, They analyze kan, okay, we have how many clusters today? 10 clusters. So far we have 150 clusters. So using all those data tu, barulah KKM akan strategize. Okay, Selangor we decide now PKPB. Oh, okay. Putrajaya pula PKPP pemulihan. So what are the basis of that judgment is on the safety data collected and analysed. Itu jadi. That's why KKM, that's why pening kesian kita ni DG kan. So based on the safety data, dia akan buat risk management, etc. And then they can decide. Okay, some state already open, some state still PKPB. We Selangor, Alhamdulillah, dulu PKP normal, suffer juga, but now it's already PKPB. Okay, so what is the basis of decision is based on safety data. That's why under SMS, it cannot be, oh, I don't have safety data lah tuan. So how can you derive SMS if you don't have any safety data? How can you make analysis? How can you make correct judgment? Kan, if you don't have safety data. So ada SMS, safety data is very important. Okay, such safety data is collected from proactive or reactive safety-related activities, including but not limited to, okay, these are the method of we collect the safety data in aviation. For example, accident or incident investigation. That's why every time ada accident or incident investigation, there's a safety data output from it. Sometimes through safety reporting. On the third day, I will share on safety investigation report. Okay, so through that also we have some safety data. Continue airworthiness reporting. This is for aircraft. Operational performance monitoring. Sometimes we monitor operational, we get the safety data. Okay, how many birds fly there? How many FOD on runway? How many FOD on apron? Okay, how many people neglect the SOP, that kind of thing. And inspection, audits, and surveys. After this, I will explain a little bit on inspection, audit, surveys. When we do inspection, audit, survey, so the finding tu kita akan dapat safety data. Safety studies and reviews. Sometimes we do safety studies and review when necessary. So outcome of the safety study and review, we get safety data. Okay, clear? Okay, safety oversight. What is definition safety oversight? Safety oversight ni senang cakap, kita orang punya kerja lah, regulator. Okay, a function performed by a state. Nampak tak? So don't ever say that, oh, I perform safety oversight for you. No. Safety oversight is just performed by kita, regulator. But we can delegate lah function to you, but you cannot say that you do the safety oversight. When you meet a word name state is, it means regulator. Maknanya kalau dalam airport, CAAM Aerodrome Standard. Kalau dalam air traffic services, regulator is kita punya NS Inspectorate headed by Cik Raizat lah. So flight ops by flight ops, airworthiness by airworthiness. So safety oversight is a function performed by a state to ensure that individuals or organisation performing an aviation activity comply with the safety related national law and regulation. So kat sini nampak tak? Dia tak lari daripada safety related national law and regulation. So in SMS ni, definition of a safety oversight is related to requirement for safety, related to safety. Safety performance, a state or a service provider safety assessment as defined by its safety performance target and safety performance indicator. So tomorrow morning, inshallah, I will tell a little bit on SPI, SPT. Okay, so this is the one, like I said just now, berat measured by kilogram, safety performance measured by SPT and SPI. Okay, safety performance indicator, apa definition dia? A database parameter used for monitoring and assessing safety performance. Okay, dia ada parameter dia. And safety performance target is the state or service provider plan or intended target for a safety performance indicator over given a period that align with safety objective. Tomorrow I will touch more detail. But here I would like to share with you some of us bila cerita pasal safety performance target, forget that it's actually a target. So you must add to achieve, to reduce the aircraft related accident to 1 by the year 2023, for example. Tapi ramai orang miss the by the year 2023 tu. But I will share to you tomorrow. Okay. Safety performance indicator is your current target, current achievement. For example, by 2021 ni memang kita punya target, kita punya SPI level kita ialah to maintain FOD found on runway tu cuma 3 je, for example. Tapi when you outline the SPT, you must reduce from 3 tu jadi berapa? 2. Maknanya don't forget the word, the SPT is to reduce the FOD found on runway to 2 cases per year by perkataan by tu many people forget. By 2023 for example. 2 years lah. That's why kalau tengok definition of safety performance target ni, the state or service provider, both state pun ada, service provider pun ada, plan or internet target over a given period. Maknanya if we are in 2021, make sure on the SPT we put by the year 2023. Kalau you tak sebut by the year 2023, I will correct your SPT, I will have ask you to add the 2023. Faham So nanti bila you review pula 2022, mana person buat macam tu juga. 2022 review tapi perkataan by the year 2022 tu tak ubah jadi 2024 for example. So that one pun I need to correct. Okay, tomorrow I will show you example to make it clearer. Okay. Safety risk. The predicted probability and severity of the consequence or outcome of hazard. Tomorrow I'll go on detail on safety risk management. Okay. But in SMS, this one very mandatory. Kalau you kata you dah pergi SMS training, you must know what is the difference between hazard, what is the difference between risk. So tomorrow, insyaAllah, I'll go detail on this one. Hopefully by the end of this 3 days training, everybody of us, 150 of us, know how to differentiate between hazard and safety risk. That one very important. The initial state when I go for audit, when I went for audit, there are many confusion on the hazard and risk. But from time to time, when you go for training, you go for exercise, finally, you nampaklah beza dia. So hopefully, end of these 3 days, after tomorrow's punya training, maybe kalau we got time, we do some exercise. Hopefully, we can know the differentiation between hazard and safety risk. It's very important. So the definition of safety risk is the predicted probability and severity of the consequences or outcomes of a hazard. So there are 2 keywords here in safety risk. Macam saya kata tadi, the weight, the berat is measured by kilogram. The length of the height is measured by meter. So safety risk is measured by probability and severity. Remember, safety risk is measured by probability and severity. Tomorrow I will go into detail on this matter. But here, kalau you ada paper, you ada pen, please write. Berat measured by kilogram. Length measured by meter. Safety risk measured by probability and severity. So tomorrow I will tell you what is the probability, what is the severity. So I hope by the end of these 3 days, all of you become expert already in safety risk management. InsyaAllah kan. Okay, SSP. Like I say just now. Kalau sebut SSP je, service provider don't have to worry. SSP is all about us, kita orang, regulator, state yang kena prepare. The one that you do is SMS, Safety Management System. But SSP is for us. Apa definition dia? An integrated set of regulation and activities aimed at improving safety. So we have one group called Safety Implementation Group, headed by Captain Phillips from Flight Ops. The members is a representative from every division, safety-related division, for example, Aerodrome Standard, ANS Inspectorate, Airworthiness, Flight Ops. So these are the one who oversee this safety program in Malaysia. Right? Okay. Okay, surveillance. Definition is the state activities through which the state proactively verifies through inspection and audits their aviation license, certificate, authorization or approval holder continue to meet the established requirements and function at the level of competency and safety required by the state. Nampak tak? Again, here surveillance is conducted by us. The service provider is not conducting surveillance. Surveillance is conducted by the state, the regulator. So that are the one that we always do. So proactively verify through what? Inspection audit. So when we come to you, to your airport, doing inspection audit, sometimes we do unannounced, we don't give you notice, we just terjah saja. So it is actually a part of surveillance. Surveillance is a requirement by IQ. When we go unannounced inspection, the reason is IQ want us to go to check whether airport is already prepared 24 hours to 7 days a week lah maknanya. When we go by notice, you can prepare kan, tapi IQ once a while dia minta kita to do unannounced inspection. So this is a part of surveillance. So I hope you can bear. Sometimes people knock at your door. Assalamualaikum, selamat pagi. I'm from CAAM and room standard. I want to check your airport lah. So waktu tu jangan terperanjat lah. Zabidi yang terperanjat Kota Baru. Ipoh yang terperanjat, Ihsan. Itulah kadang-kadang kita ketuk pintu.
Okey Ji. Tak terperanjat.
Must make sure they show pass they show pass at room standard. You verify with me lah. Sometimes stranger copy kita punya pass kata I'm from airport standard, I never know you, so please telephone Mahyuddin. Mr Mahyuddin, do you really have staff name Kasim, for example? I will verify to you lah. Okay, so it's a part of surveillance. Okay, thank you very much. So that's the definition. So allow me to continue. We have another 17 minutes for my next slides. Okay, after this, I will straight enter into the element of SMS. So I hope everybody can focus. Kita dah masuk dalam explaining about element of SMS. There are how many elements just now I say? We have 12 elements. So Zarif, can you see my slide now? SMS planning?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So after this, I will show you, but we will going to break at 11:30. But before that, I will try to cover as many as possible. All those 12 elements in SMS. So this is very important if you want to start SMS at your organization. For example, you don't have SMS. How to start? So to start with, you must have all those 12 elements. Because in Malaysia and the rest of the world, if you are in aviation related business, we are all the same. So there are 12 elements that you need to comply. Before that, we have 13. So the one that IQ take out is the SMS implementation plan. But now you already have 12. So we must know. Kita tak perlu memorize, tapi at least we know. Every time you want to start, for example, in helideck, I think many helideck still struggling to start SMS. So I would advise for helideck installation company, these are the elements that in minimum have to be had by a service provider. But like I say before, dia punya SMS ni must commensurate lah. Janganlah your helideck punya SMS same like Langkawi Airport. Tak commensurate langsung kan. Helideck punya SMS mesti sama dengan helideck. Helideck is just you ensure all those hexagons punya helideck tu safe, for example. Janganlah Tanjung Manis punya SMS mesti sama dengan Langkawi punya SMS. No. SMS must commensurate. But it does not run away from all these 12 elements. Remember. So please focus. All those 12 elements. Okay, again, I say, okay, just now I have one question on the pillar, 4 pillars. I think another word of component, maybe you can call it pillars lah. But here, IQ want us to call it components. Remember the 4 components of SMS? Safety policy objective, safety risk management, safety assurance, and safety promotion. And under all those components ada 12 elements, remember. So under the first component, we have 5. Management, commitment, and responsibility. I will go through one by one. The second element is safety accountabilities of managers. What are the accountabilities of all those different managers? The third element is appointment of key safety personnel. When we want to start SMS in our organization, we must appoint certain key safety personnel. It might be somebody yang doing something else. Maybe they are head of engineering, head of FRS, but as long as we must officially appoint them for some role to do in SMS. Understand? And coordination of emergency response planning. What happen if something emergency happening? What happen if there's some emergency between you and your stakeholders? What is the coordination? So under the fourth element, you must have coordination of ERP. And the number 5 is documentation. So in SMS, you must have document. So under this 5th element documentation ni, I will share with you what are the things that need to be included in your SMS manual ke SIP, etc. Okay, please focus. Okay, under the second component of SMS, we call it safety risk management. Remember, IQ said to me, among the most important component or elements is this one. Is related to hazard identification process. So tomorrow I will go detail on hazard and risk management. I hope everybody can focus so that we can benefit a lot. Okay. So the third one is safety assurance. We have safety monitoring and measurement, the SPI, SPT just now. We have the management of change. I will cover this in this evening, I think, inshallah. We have continuous improvement of the SMS. Okay, so these are the three elements under safety assurance. Okay, and under safety promotion, we have training education. These are some part of safety promotion that we are doing it for the industry of aviation, especially for aerodromes. And also, we have safety communication. Okay. So let us start with the first element of SMS, which is management, commitment, and responsibility. Are you all ready? Ready, Pen, kertas, ready, Okay. Okay, under the first element, senior management must develop the safety policy. One more thing. If you say your organization have SMS, I will ask, can you show me where is your safety policy? Oh tuan, ini dalam draft stage lah. Unfortunately, kalau draft stage you belum ada SMS lah. So every company, balik ni, if you're not sure, better you ask your management, tuan, where is our company safety policy tuan? Saya balik dari SMS training kata, kalau kita ada SMS ada safety policy. Okay, so ask. Senior management must develop safety policy. I can easily say all those aerodrome certified by us already have safety policy lah kan. Signed by the executive. Jangan sign by airport manager je. Tak laku safety policy tu. The safety policy must be signed by accountable executive. The safety policy must include a commitment to, okay, this is the one that I do when I do audit on safety policy, but now it's already there, so I don't have to worry lah. But initially when you start to draft your safety policy, I make sure it covers all these things. So the management must have to achieve the highest safety standard, commitment to achieve highest safety standard. Dia mesti ada commitment to observe all applicable legal requirement and international standard and best effective practices. So operating an airport, operating an air traffic services cannot run away from international standard. So in the safety policy must have the janji lah, aku janji by the management to commit to do all these things. Provide appropriate human and financial resources. Like your boss always say, Haji, budget is not a problem, it's not issue. Itulah, itu yang kita nak lah. Okay, maknanya senior management or accountable executive must promise us through safety policy that provide appropriate human and financial resources to ensure safety at your organization. Okay, that's the point. So mesti ada ayat ni, kalau tak kita bagi finding on your safety policy. And then commitment to enforce safety as one primary responsibility. Bukan safety is first, tapi safety as one primary responsibility. We understand that Dacheng kan, you must balance lah income dengan you punya safety measures. Jangan sebelah berat kan. Okay, so dia kena make it safety as one primary responsibility for all managers. Okay. So ensure that the policy is understood, implemented and maintained at all levels. So maknanya the policy ni kena dipastikan. You have to ensure it is understood. Kalau boleh, all the staff which relate to operation and safety must know the content of safety. So usually safety ni, after dia I go detail, dia mesti diletakkan di dinding ke atas punch card ke atau mana lah. So you must be communicated. Senior management must communicate with visible endorsement the safety policy to all staff. Some of them, macam kita CAAM, we print it, we put a beautiful frame, and at every level we have our safety policy. Some put dekat you punya notice board, some put dekat on your punch card, some put on your pamphlet of your company, maybe prospectus of your company. Some put on the website ke, some maybe regularly email to all the staff. Okay, as long as dia masih visible endorsement, it is okay for us. Must communicate. So easy for us, for regulator to know macam mana when we go to one airport lah, for example. We go to one airport lah, and then we ask the staff, do you know your company safety policy? Alah sir, we do not know. Is there such a thing? Itu my fail tu. Because why? Your management does not communicate with visible endorsement the safety policy. So balik ni, please make sure if all this kita punya staff ni masih ada yang tak tahu safety policy ni, maknanya your management must improve. You must communicate with visual endorsement. After this, maybe your management boleh slow talk yang staff. Okay, Haji sudah beritahu Ini kita safety policy tuan-tuan dan puan-puan. Jangan nanti bila Tuan Haji datang, dia tanya you tidak tahu itu finding bagi saya nanti. Okay, so please make sure after this, make sure all your staff in your room now, meeting room ni, tahu mana safety policy. For my next audit, bila PKP over ni, I will check. Where is your safety policy? I will ask everybody related to operation. Okay. Establish safety objective and performance standard for the SMS. So this is one role of the senior management. You must have safety objective. After this, tomorrow I will tell you how you must relate your SPI and SPT to your safety objective. You have objective kan? Objective is to reduce your runway incursion. So you have SPI SPT for runway incursion. You have objective to reduce the FOD on runway. So you have a SPI SPT for FOD on runway, for example. Okay. So for the training for SPI SPT, I will share more on this. The safety objective and performance standard should be linked with the safety plan. This is what I said just now. You have safety objective, you must link it with the SPI and SPT. So after this, tomorrow I will share two example of SPI SPT if I got time. Hopefully I got time, so that we can have some idea. Some of us maybe never have experience on dealing with SPI SPT. Never mind. Tomorrow, inshallah, I will share what is the SPI SPT example so that all of us have got idea for this training. Okay, they must link the safety objective performance must link to the SPI and SPT. Okay. Okay. The first element must identify accountable executive first. Jangan tak ada accountable executive. Sometimes we confuse. Okay, we can make second person lah. Our CEO is very busy lah. Can the deputy CEO become? No. It must be the first in the organization. Okay. So what is the characteristic of accountable executive? They must be single. Identify person. Dia tak boleh. Okay, accountable executive is either Mr. X or Mr. Y. If Mr. X tak ada, Mr. Y take over. No. It must be either Mr. X or Mr. Y. So that's why I said to you, for Malaysia Airport, for example, it's by a single. It's your MD now. Whoever sits on the MD post, he is the accountable executive. Now I believe in Senai Airport, your accountable executive is your acting CEO, Mr. Kennedy, my friend, if I'm not mistaken. So sama lah juga dengan the rest, Tanjung Manis, it must be your number one. Okay. And then he has full responsibility of the organization SMS. Maknanya, when we want to appoint an accountable executive, this accountable executive must have full responsibility of the organisasi SMS. Dia tak boleh cakap, oh, I'm not in charge in certain area in SMS lah. That's why we require them to become the first one. Because if you are the first in your company, you are responsible for all the things. Okay, usually it's a CEO or chairman board of directors. Make it easy lah. Maknanya macam saya cakap lah, for companies like Senai Airport, Malaysia Airport, etc. It's just the CEO. Okay. And a partner for this is one not related to us lah. Proprietor is not related. So related to us is just the CEO or chairman of board of directors. Like for example, for we regulator, our accountability with the KSU. Okay. So it's quite challenging for us to brief them because he's not in the same office with us, but we have got no choice. Because we have already decided CAAM punya accountable executive for regulator is our KSU. Okay, the criteria for accountable executive. Accountable executive must have full authority for human resource issues. It means that bila kita kata, I think your airport not enough person lah Tuan Datuk Seri, Tan Sri. Okay, dia kena ada full authority to appoint the safety person that we require. That's why dia mesti number one. Dia ada kuasa untuk tambah orang, kurang orang. Okay. Authority for major financial issues. I think Datuk Seri, your runway ni need to be resurface lah. Very danger lah. So dia ada authority untuk to allocate you the budget. Okay. And dia ada direct responsibility for the conduct of the organisation affair. I think something need to be changed lah in your affair in organisation, Datuk Seri, Tan Seri, Datuk, YB dan sebagainya. So they can ada, you have the power, the authority. And then they can ada final authority over operation under certificate. Okay. All the operation mentioned inside the certificate, they ada final authority. And then they ada final responsibility for all safety issues. That's why it's very important. After you see all these criteria for active executive, it cannot be the second person, the third person, or being delegated to somebody else. No, it must be the CEO or managing director. Okay. So before we finish another 2 minutes, allow me to go for the next element, safety accountability of managers. Okay, organization must have which do SMS must have SMS organization. That's why this one I require in your SMS manual. In every SMS manual, kalau helideck you want to do SMS, inside the helideck operation manual must have SMS organization. Okay, there is not same like normal organization. It's a special SMS organization. Must list down safety responsibilities of key personnel. So inside the HOM or like us in airport, we do in the aero manual, or we can do it in our SMS manual also. Okay, it must list down the safety responsibility of key personnel. Okay, orang ni buat ini, orang ni buat ini. It can be guna sama, it can be multitasking. It's okay, but as long as we must name who is responsible for all those safety measures. Okay, reference is here. Okay, these are roughly, if you want to have guideline, the SMS organization, for example. So it is being centered by Safety Service Office. Usually for small organization, Safety Service Office is a safety officer. For big organization like Malaysia Airport, Safety Service Office ini is your PDSS, I guess. PDSS kan. Dulu SMS unit kan. Now I think it's under PDSS. Tapi sepatutnya dia kena independent lah. Dia boleh direct, dia ada direct link to SRB. After this I will go detail who is SRB, etc. lah. Okay. So these are the one roughly the organization, SMS organization. Okay, I think we go for another break. So please take opportunity for this half an hour break to retry again. Good luck to your Google Jamboard. For those company, for those group who still cannot answer, you try to go there, or maybe you can want to perkena teh tarik, etc. It's up to you. So thank you very much. See you another half an hour. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.